Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to contribute. I rise to oppose the motion on the floor. First and foremost, I would like to correct the senator who has just left, who has just spoken before me. When Senator Kawira arrived, when the Act of Parliament, which cuts and pastes Article 145 into the County Governments Act, allows for people to come here during impeachment. It's the Constitution itself that allows. The same Constitution allows the President to address this House once in a year. So the appearance before a plenary of a governor who is being impeached is allowed by the Constitution itself. What we are saying is that we are a creature of the Constitution. We are not a law unto ourselves. And there is no provision for amending the Constitution through the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza. The manifesto of Kenya Kwanza had promised the people something that was unconstitutional, and it's upon us to ensure that the Constitution prevails. We chose a presidential system. And in a presidential system, we elect two centers of power. We elect the House and we elect the Constitution. People directly elect two centers of power. In a parliamentary system, the people elect one center of power called Parliament, and then Parliament elects the executive, where you have got cabinet ministers and whatever coming from the House, and they are members of the House, and they can appear in the House. We do not have that kind of structure. So it's my submission that we cannot introduce the parliamentary system or a mixture of the parliamentary and the presidential system through the back door. We borrowed the presidential system from the American system. The only other presidential system on earth is in Nigeria. Only 3 countries have pure presidential systems: Kenya, Nigeria, and the United States of America. I'm yet to see where cabinet secretaries appear in the House. So, and I support the proposal that has been made here. If people want the luxury or the pleasure of seeing cabinet secretaries appear before a membership or before the House as a whole, then we remove this mess and we remove the speaker and we have a kamkunji. Let cabinet secretaries appear before the kamkunji of the Senate, but not before the Senate. Secondly, if you look at the conditionalities that have been imposed on that so-called appearance of the cabinet secretaries here, they have deliberately created a shuttle for protecting cabinet secretaries from parliamentary inquiry. At the committees, we do not have limitation on what you can ask a cabinet secretary. And a cabinet secretary who doesn't turn up can face sanctions. I'm yet to be told that any committee has imposed a sanction on a cabinet secretary and there were no consequences to it. Why are we handling cabinet secretaries with kid gloves? Why are we mollycoddling them? So me, I don't of breaching the Constitution for expedient reasons. There's absolutely no reason why we should not follow the Constitution. The power donated to us to make standing orders is highly limited. It cannot give us the power to override the Constitution. A river does not flow higher than its source, and we cannot purport to be flowing higher than the Constitution. And I'm sure the bullfighter understands that saying from where we come from. Secondly, as I conclude, I'm also endorsing the point that the Senator for Taita Taveta has made here, that we have got very limited time for committees. if again we take away time from committees to put into the plenary, we shall not be doing justice to the committees. We have a backlog of work, and even now in the CPAC, we're even sitting on Mondays to be able to cover the backlog. So, as I oppose this particular motion, I pray that we be sober, we look at the Constitution, and if we want cabinet secretaries to appear before this House, let us do the honorable thing. Let us amend the Constitution. We have the power to amend the Constitution. Let us invoke it. Let us amend the Constitution. But before we amend the Constitution, we must apply the law as it is. There is no room for applying the law as we would like it to be. The law as it is the law of the land. The law as we would like it to be is not a law. So, I stand to oppose the motion.
What is your point of order?
Madam Chair, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I rise on standing order number 122. 122 1C, which expects that a member should declare their interest. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, could the Senator of Busia declare whether, after eloquently contributing in this motion, and after the motion will have sailed through, he will still go to court and sue this institution?
Yes, let me answer.
Senator Boni, respectively, we cannot contemplate before it actually happens. Senate is not served with any proceedings as yet, and as a senator, he would be free to debate before any proceedings are done.
In reply, I'll quote Article 3, Clause 1, which says every person has an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend this Constitution. And if you violate this Constitution in this House, I'll go to court and I will challenge it. I have an obligation to uphold, respect, and defend the Constitution, which I do with pride, which I do with honor, which I do with distinction, which I applaud myself for if you don't applaud me. My brother, bullfighter, I've run out of adjectives. So, Madam Speaker, I don't know, how do you say it? I need to be guided, because you say, Mr. Speaker, sir. How do you say, Madam Speaker? How do we crown it? How do we do it? May I be informed? I request to be informed by Senator Khalwale.
Senator Boni.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, indeed I would love to inform the Honorable Senator of Busia, but assuming that he is the lawyer he has claimed to be, the medium of learning, the medium of teaching law is English. This law is talking about, is it from River Road or the University of Karamojong?
Senator Wamatinga, do you want to respond to that?
He failed to inform me. He asked me, he wanted me to inform him instead. So we leave it at that. But then I oppose the motion, and I pray that it fails. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Wamatinga.